Everybody together. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna.
Krishna Krishna.
Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Guruve Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namaha. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasili Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Bolo Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Again, thank you Mataji for inviting us. It's very nice to see your beautiful home and so many devotees here together today. I feel very honored to be part of this assembly. I'll try to speak something I've heard from our gurus in our line about the purpose of our life, trying to find true purpose in life. It's such an important thing, to find meaning and truth and purpose. For me, it's very intertwined with finding guru in life, actually, because since I was a young boy, also with Prem Prabhu, since we were young boys, we came into the association of our Guru Pada Padma, Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj to Gurudev. And also we grew up in a community of devotees in California, in Badger community. We had about 300 devotees in New Braj. It was a very nice community there. So since I was about 9 years old, my Gurudev, I got initiation, and he would tell us, when you grow up, I want you to become brahmacharis and serve the mat, serve the mission. So for us, this was a very clear definition of our purpose in life since we were very young. Also, he was told from young age, you should be a brahmachari. So this is a very important, life task. But for us, it was something that he made very clear, because we heard about it year after year, when he would come and travel and we would meet with him. And especially, it's something made very clear by all our Guru Varga, especially our beloved Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who came to the West, first in 1965, here to New York City. And he helped make very clear the purpose of our human life. And our Guru Pada Padma would also teach us this. What is our purpose? And he would make it very simple and clear. You can look at, first of all, we can all think for ourselves, what is the difference between human beings and animals? It's very simple. We see how animals, what is described, ahara bhaya mitrunancha, ahara bhaya nitra maitun. 4 kinds of characteristics of creatures who are living on this world. They have to eat, they have to sleep, they have to reproduce, and they have to fend for themselves, have to try to defend themselves. And human beings are doing that in more elaborate fashion than animals. We can see animals are going about, you can see a beaver making his dam, making his house, a bird making a house. So we're also trying to grow up, get educated so we can get money to make a house. But the birds are doing it very easily. The birds don't have to get a PhD in how to make a house. Like how to, for us, we have to get a job, go to education, get a good job, and then gradually we can try to make a house. Get a house for ourselves to live in. But the birds, they collect twigs from here and there in the forest and make a house and anyhow live together. So the purpose of human life isn't just getting a nice house. You can see, we also like to have a nice car. But some animals are very fast or they fly very fast. They don't need to get a car. They already have it. They're better than us at that. So what's the speciality of human beings compared to animals? We have the ability to have higher consciousness, the ability to reason. And that's why it said, Labdva sudurlabhamidaham bahu sambhavante. That human life is described as very rare, very, very rare. Of how many species of life are there in this world? Our Prabhupada writes in his Bhagavatam, 84 lakh, 8,400,000 species of life. Some are in the land, some are in the water. And human beings are of those species of life described to be 4 lakhs, 400,000 kinds in this Bharatvarsha or in this universe. And it's described in Sastra, it's very rare to find those who are using their intelligence to actually pursue the real purpose of life. It's very rare to find someone who's actually pursuing the true purpose of life. And so actually we're all very fortunate, because it's said that if someone is chanting the holy names, if someone is in the association of devotees, taking prasadam, doing kirtan, means their human life has become successful. Harer nama, harer nama eva kevalam, kolo nasteva, nasteva, nasteva gatiranyata. The purpose of human life is, the way to become successful in your life is given in this verse. That by chanting Krishna's names, Krishna and his names are non-different. So by chanting Krishna's names, you're in the presence of Krishna, and then you can become Krishna conscious and make your life successful. Because we need to facilitate for our families, we need to have a place to live. We have to do all these things in life. It's not that we can avoid these things. But in human life, you can add one special ingredient to make your life successful, more so than just animals. You see some animals very successful. They may be, like a lion, king of the jungle. But anyhow, they have to die. Anyhow, they have to, a lion can suffer, a lion can also have pain and trouble and disease and old age and death. Just like we may be the king of the jungle of New York City. We may be someone like the president. But anyhow, we have to die. So what can distinguish us is that we have a chance to achieve some kind of spiritual success. And that is described in our Vedic scriptures. Savai pom sam paro dharma yato bhakti radoksaje ahaitukya pratyata yatma suprasiditi. There's a special thing that can give us ultimate satisfaction. We're all looking for satisfaction in this world. So what can satisfy us is that which is our Atma Dharma, true spiritual purpose. If we are following that, then we can become satisfied. And that is equal for all living beings, for all human beings. Savai Pungsam means for all human beings. Paro Dharma, there's one topmost Dharma. Yato Bhaktir Adoksaje. To have Bhakti for Adoksaj Bhagavan Shri Krishna, the transcendental personality of Godhead Krishna. To develop a relationship with him through love and devotion, that is the same goal for everyone. That is not according to caste or creed or nationality, that if you're Indian you can do it, if you're American you cannot do it. It transcends everything else. This is not like a sectarian dharma or religion. Savai Pungsam Paro Dharma, for all living beings. We're all in this family of God, Vasudeva Kutumbakam. But it's described by Acharyas that we have come into Maya Jagat, into illusion, and we have turned away from Krishna, and therefore we're trying to enjoy in this world, separately from Krishna. And so we're suffering, moving about from one species of life to another. We've been doing programs with Radha Mataji's house. We've been talking about how can we try to not take birth again in this cycle of birth and death. That we are in this cycle of birth and death, so how can we escape this cycle? That's one conception, how to escape the cycle of birth and death. But the goal of human life is something greater than that. That it is described in the Sastra, Amritasya Putra. The soul is a part and parcel of the divine bliss personified, Amrita. We are part and parcel of Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, who is all attractive, who is the embodiment of bliss. And so we are also seeking happiness and bliss. And yet we are trying to find that in this world by so many kinds of activities that cause suffering. It's called preya. Preya means we are getting some temporary pleasure through the senses. But that actually has no connection to the self, the soul. Like when we're eating ice cream, the mind, the tongue is happy. But this doesn't touch the soul. But if we offer that ice cream to Krishna and we take the prasad, then that touches the soul. That's why it's a very simple process. Try to make a relationship with Krishna in our life. Just like we have a relationship with our family, we want to develop such a relationship with Krishna. That's why it's said by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in a household where Radha and Krishna are present and worship, that becomes the same as Goloka. Jedina grihe bhajana deki grihete Goloka pai. Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings, in that house where I see Radha Krishna, Gauranitai being worshipped, that place is the spiritual world. Why? It's like the spiritual world here also. You're very lucky. Because when Radha Krishna are there in your house, you can make everything centered around them. You go to work, you have to work and make money to survive in this world. I'm not saying don't do those things. Even Krishna says, I also work. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, even I am God. I don't have to do anything, but I still work. What to speak of if we are brahmachari, grahastha, sannyasi, vanaprastha. Even it is said in the Gita, someone thinks I'm a tyagi, I'm renounced, I won't do any kriya, I won't do any activity. They are a cheater, hypocrite. Like us, you may say, oh, we are monks. What kind of job do we have? But even that, what is our job? We are serving Krishna. We are working for Krishna. We are occupied, we are engaged. Even Krishna is engaged. So we have to be engaged in some activity, occupational duties. We have to be engaged. But we must add something more to make our life truly successful. And that's why in each of our houses, very simple, we can have Thakurji present, Gaurnitai, or Radha Krishna, or the Guru Varga. And whatever we do, we can remember them and try to center everything on them. And then our life becomes easily successful. Because we want to make a relationship based on bhakti with them. What does bhakti mean? Bhakti, generally people think devotion. But also you can think of it as love. Like the mother has bhakti for her child. She is devoted to her child. She'll naturally look after her child. Like the mother will look after the daughter, or the son will look after the parents. They have bhakti, devotion. So we want to develop a natural love for Krishna. Like a mother for her child, or like a friend for his friend, or like a beloved to the beloved. It's very simple. It should be natural. Then if it's natural, then it will be blissful, because we all like love and relationships. We all like to have loving relationships with family or with friends or with partners. We are looking for love. So we can imagine if you can have a loving relationship with Krishna, with God, how much you will be fulfilled. You cannot even imagine. It's the topmost kind of bliss and fulfillment in life. And how to do that? It's very simple. To make a relationship with Krishna is very simple, because Krishna is non-different from his names. So by chanting the Mahamantra, we are related to Krishna. When we chant Hare Krishna, this is Radha Krishna together. So when we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When we chant this Mahamantra, this is being connected to Radha Krishna. Just like if I say a mundane word, it gives the image in your mind. I say apple. You may think of an apple, or you may think of your phone. iPhone. Apple, you think of it. But this is also mundane. If you chant apple, 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 whether an apple or a pear, no guarantee. But if you chant Krishna, 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 for every time you chant Krishna, it's described Krishna comes one step closer to you. You go one step towards Krishna, he takes 100 steps towards you. But most of the time we're taking steps away from Krishna. So it's like back and forth, back and forth. We take a step towards Krishna, he comes close to us, then we take a step back towards Maya. We go away from Krishna. And Krishna's waiting for us. But if we try to make relationship with Krishna very simply, just try to gather together. What is this process of bhakti? Very simple. Gather together like we are here today, once a week, in different homes or in the mandir. There's so many mandirs here in Queens. Krishna Balaram Mandir, very nice temple. You can go there. Brooklyn Temple. So many temples. Bhakti Center, Manhattan. Very beautiful temple. Each house is like a temple. Once a week you can come together, do nama-hatta programs. This is all you need. It's just like the magic masala. You know, like in life, you can imagine our ordinary life is like rice, dal, chapati. But if there's no spice in it, it's very bland. Right? Normal life, you know, we're going through the motions. Waking up, taking a shower, eating breakfast, going to work, coming home, checking the news, checking your Facebook status, going to bed. This is the normal routine of life. But if we can add the magic masala, this ordinary routine is like rice, dal,